Good evening, everybody. I've been asked by a few of you guys out there if I would do a video about my detector. Um, the one I'm currently using is the Minelab Vanquish 440. It's been a really good detector. I've been really happy with it. We'll see. One of our first things we'll do here is we'll get her turned on. It's got an auto ground balance, so you don't have to worry about doing that. Oops. Alright, so you got such things as, it's picking up the rebar in the driveway, I'm sorry guys. You got things like right here, you have your volume control, turn her up and down. We have our sensitivity control here, as you can see it's going down. Let me turn that back down a little bit. There we go, now we're not getting that junk. Alright, we have our pinpoint. And over here we have our button for our different modes. Right now it is in coin. We can switch it off to relic, jewelry, or custom. Now with like most detectors, you know, you can have it on your coins or your relics or even your jewelry, and you can use this button here to notch in and out a little further down. Here we're going to edit. See, we add one to it, check mark. Now it'll also pick up a little bit lower on the spectrum, or if I want to, and notch that back out. Give it a second to take, and it's notched back out again. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take a slight pause, and I'm going to do some air tests to show you guys the different numbers, and that you get a kind of a good hear for what the different tones sound like for the different types of coins. Alright, in just a second. Alright guys, here we go. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to do the air test. My lovely wife has given me a handout with this. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is what a penny will sound like for you. Say about a 20, 21, and it's ringing up right about where a penny should. So, next thing will be our everyday, these are all, first ones are clad, mind you. Your clad nickel. Bring it up a little lower, about a 13, 12. Now granted, mind you, these are air tests. It can always vary a little bit depending on what type of soil conditions are in, if a coin's on its end and all that. Then we're clad dime. Bring it back up or high again around 20, 21, back up around the penny signal. And that's happened to me a few times too, actually. Gone and thought I was getting a dime or a penny and got the opposite. Then finally, for our clad change, it'll be a clad quarter. See up here in high 30s, kind of bring it up a little bit further up. Alright. So, for the next ones, we're going to deal with a little bit different types of coins. Like, for example, our first one will be an Indian head penny. It's ringing up here about like a normal penny because of its content. Then the next is a mercury dime, which is, as you know, silver, high 20s. Next will be a silver standing Liberty quarter, high 30s. See, it's getting up or further on the gauge. Then finally, but not least, we have a walking Liberty half dollar. See, high 30s like that again. So most of your silver will ring up in the high 30s. Alright, take a slight break here, and then next section we'll do a couple of pieces of jewelry just to let you know what the jewelry sounds like. Alright guys, so we're going to switch over to jewelry mode. See, it gets a little further down on the spectrum and everything. I'm actually going to throw a little humdinger at you. This is an iron hook I found while out doing a field about a month or so ago. This is kind of what they sound like when you hit a big piece of iron. See, down there in the ones, single digits. But it sounds really pretty, like when it's, it gives almost that pop top, this kind of thing to make you go, jewelry. So you could still hit those numbers, but for the most part, most of your iron will generally hit in the single digits. So the next thing is a silver earring. This is a sterling silver earring. See, right there again, kind of about 17, pretty consistent at 17. Right under the little jewelry marker, so once again, it's pretty accurate. And then last but not least, we're going to check out a 14 karat gold ring that has diamonds in it. See, also kind of bouncing back and forth between a 9 and a 10. See, right there where that dime marker is, so you have to be kind of careful with that stuff. It's one of the reasons I kind of follow the philosophy of digging it all. Alright, and I'll be right back. Okay, so finally, just as a whole, this is a really good detector. I believe my all-in was about a little over 300 for it, I believe, the detector itself. It's definitely been a great detector. It's always been pretty accurate about whatever it says that it's showing. That's what it is. One of the greatest things, that really turned me on to this detector was we tend to like to go to the beach and stuff, and this detector does also do salt water and dry sand as well as land. Now, of course, you cannot submerge the box because the box itself is not waterproof, but the coil itself is good for, I believe, it was rated between 3 and 6 foot. So if you want to get just a little bit into the water and kind of wave the coil around at the beach or the lake and kind of see what got washed out. Now, one of the other things that really attracted me to it, too, was this detector actually can, it's a little bit, there we go, actually can collapse. And make it get much more portable, easier to put away and store. And like I said, with us going to the beach, going on our trips, it doesn't take up as much room. I'm sure the wife's happy about that. That way it doesn't take up a bunch of storage. Once again, I believe it's definitely a little above entry level, but not one of your higher ones. I mean, there are a few more features that the 540 offers that the 440 does not. But for the everyday user, I don't believe that there is necessary. Again, this is not a sponsored thing. This is just me giving my thoughts and opinions on the Minelab 440 Vanquish. And thank you for watching. And if you like what you see today, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.